Hi everyone, welcome back to the Teachers Danek YouTube channel. And as always, welcome to Learn English with Football, which is a show that I broadcast every Monday live here on this channel. And this time we're going to be talking about game week 15 of the Premier League. It's the penultimate game week. There's only one more to go before the World Cup break. And as always, it's good to be joined by a guest. This time it's just one guest, but he's gonna make up for that it's gonna be compensated by the fact that it's none other than Nroop. Hi, Nroop.
Evening, Zdeněk. Evening, everyone.
I apologize for the long-winded introduction.
No worries, that was great.
I don't think so. I can do better than that. But it's good to have you here, Nroop. It's fantastic. It's fantastic to have you back to talk about football and mainly Arsenal's win over Chelsea. I can see that you are radiant today.
Yes, I am. This season has been different. So,
yep.
Yeah, the happiness index has increased quite a lot.
Absolutely. Just to remind everyone, Nroop, a friend of mine, first of all, we know each other quite well, right?
Yes,
you are studying medicine in Prague.
Yeah.
In the capital of the Czech Republic. And how are your studies? How's everything going?
It's just all right. The weeks are different now since I have a different schedule, week in, week out. But yeah, I always have time to make sure that I'm your super sub or an emergency sub for your show. So that's what matters to me. And yeah, I'm glad to be part of it today.
Well, today you are in the starting 11.
I'm glad. Thank you, sir.
I wouldn't exactly call it 11, but you're here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So if anybody is in need of doctor in the future, down below you can see Nroop's Instagram account. You might as well follow him. You never know, right?
Yeah, you never know.
All right, Nroop. So as always, we're going to go through our usual segments. And the first one is matches we have seen. So,
I just watched the game that was against Chelsea, Arsenal versus Chelsea, and I did follow the game that was between Leeds and Bournemouth. I mean, it was a fantastic feature, and yeah, that's all.
Okay, I have seen little bits and pieces from the Manchester City Fulham game. Then I obviously watched the Chelsea Arsenal game, and then unfortunately I also saw the West Ham Crystal Palace game.
Oh man,
which was a tough watch. Okay, so that's that out of the way. Just to remind everyone, guys, feel free to leave comments as you watch the show. Get involved in the super chat. That's what this is here for. And we are always happy to get you involved. Put your comments on screen. Let us know which matches you have seen. Okay. Nroop, I don't know if you know this, but I've got a new segment, and that's this one. The biggest surprise.
Wow.
Is that a surprise in itself?
Yes. Wow, that's a big surprise. And could you explain us what is it about?
It does exactly what it says on the tin.
Okay, so like,
yeah, usually we just talk about the match or the result that was the biggest upset.
Okay.
So I can give you mine.
Okay.
Okay, so for me it was definitely Aston Villa against Manchester United. United have been playing quite well recently, I thought. And I didn't expect Aston Villa to bounce back so quickly and to Unai Emery to start off so well. I mean, they are a big club. They've got a great budget. So, yeah, but like, how can Unai Emery change it so quickly there and beat Manchester United so comfortably from what I could see from the highlights? It looked like that was a comfortable performance from them. So that was my biggest surprise.
Yeah, that was a surprise. But I think for since I was following Leeds versus Bournemouth, I think that was a bigger surprise. Leeds, they were leading the game with 1-0, and then Bournemouth, they net in three more goals, only for Leeds to score back four goals.
Yeah,
And I think that was a good comeback. It wasn't one goal here, one goal there. It
that's right.
was, yeah,
Yeah, I
Leeds did,
agree. It
yeah,
was a big surprise they managed to pull it off.
indeed. And
But
yeah,
before the game, I may have not considered the result a surprise. Yeah, if you asked me before the game, but the way the game went and how they had to, the circumstances they were in, and how they had to turn it around, I thought they did really well.
could be. It's just that this season Leeds, they haven't been the team that, makes the game more entertaining, as in like lots of goals galuring from both sides. So I didn't expect that much from Leeds. But yeah, I mean, in yesterday's game, it was an ideal Leeds game in my opinion. The one where Leeds was led by Bielsa.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah,
they are always fun to watch, in my opinion. Leeds, I never know what to expect from them. There are usually a lot of goals. I think it's excellent for neutrals. I'm having fun
yeah,
watching the highlights. I don't really watch the Leeds games, but from the highlights, uh, Leeds Leeds' games, I should say. Sorry. Yeah, I don't always watch Leeds' games, but from the highlights, always fun. Yeah. And the manager is doing a fantastic job there, Jesse March. He was under fire at some point, but I think he
yeah.
turned it around. And fantastic job. I spoke to Pan, our regular on this show, and he was really happy and relieved that they pulled it off.
Yeah, I'm glad for Pan as well. It's been a tough season for the past 2 years for him.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, I'm just making some notes because I want to be able to do the language corner show
No worries.
at the end. And usually it's easier because there are more guests here, but today it's just you. Um, yeah, whatever. So we have done this, right? Also, we've got this out of the way, and we carry on with our next segment, which is the game week highlights. First of all, let me say hello to Max. Max, it's good to have you here. Max, by the way, is a Liverpool fan,
Wow.
so also a happy fan because they beat Spurs. But for us, Noop, the one and only game week highlight has to be
The London
Arsenal,
Derby.
the London Derby, Arsenal beating Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, away from home, thanks to Gabriel's winner. And this is something that put us back at the top of the league. A
Before the World
classics,
Cup.
yeah, before the World Cup, classic scoreline 1-0 to the Arsenal, 13 points ahead of Chelsea. What's more important, Noop, the 3 points or the manner in which we played? What do you think?
I think, wow, that's a good question. I think uh, I would go for the manner in which we played. I mean, yeah, definitely 3 points are important, but then if you want us to look for the long run, you have to look at the way how we play. You have to look for the consistency, and I think, yeah, and luckily we have played really on a top level. Our discipline in terms of every game, if you look at it game by game, has been great. Defensively, attacking wise, we have been improving every game. We have been finding out lots of spaces where we could improve, and I think Arteta, he has definitely turned the side over into a great competitive side, and I think the game was brilliant. Although the score doesn't tell you the real story. I think it could have been much more 4-0, 3-0, or Chelsea could have scored one goal. But yeah, I think it was a good
Yeah.
1-0 thrashing.
Yeah, you've made a lot of good points. And speaking of the fact that the scoreline doesn't reflect what was happening on the pitch, it doesn't quite tell the tale, as we say.
Yeah,
If you look at the stats, Chelsea's LG was 0.24 and
exactly.
ours was 2.38. So even from that statistic, it's pretty obvious who was the superior team. We had 14 shots and
But
Chelsea only 5.
definitely, but the thing was, Chelsea had 5 shots, but only one on target, whereas we had 14 shots, but only two on target.
That is
And
true. That is true.
that, yeah, that's the only part where I
Yeah.
wanted us to hit more because we are gunners. We represent a cannon, and a cannon should always hit at the right spot. And
That is true. We should have had more shots on target, but
exactly,
overall, even we had more possession. I don't
everything
think
was
this
great.
used to happen in the past. So away from home at Stamford Bridge, always a tough place to go, and I think we handled it in an excellent manner and should have won by a larger margin, as you said. Why were we so much better, Noob? I think you've already described a few reasons, but I will tell you what most people say. Yeah, from the podcasts I have listened to.
Okay.
So there are three main reasons people keep mentioning. One of them is that we seem to be right now, and in that match we were comfortable on the ball. Really, like we were looking technically superior, technically excellent. One twos, controlling the ball well, not losing the ball, not giving the ball
Getting
away.
the ball to the final third as well. It was
Yeah,
fantastic.
but like everything is precise, everything works like a clockwork, right? So that's one aspect. This technical skill, right? The skill is very high level. The second thing seems to be, so you agree with this one, yeah?
I absolutely agree.
The second reason is that we seem to be fighters. We have fighters in the team. We don't give up easily. We're not soft anymore. We don't have a soft underbelly as we used to. And like you can see the proof of players like Granit Xhaka or Thomas Partey. They're tougher guys. Even Gabriel, right? Tougher guys.
Yeah.
We have a nice squad of players that don't, you know,
Yeah, we have a squad that just want to demand more and more from the team, and
yeah,
every win, every ball that we win makes us want to score more. It's just that we are more hungry,
exactly.
we are more ambitious, and
Yeah,
yeah, judging from our previous records, I think we were just more confident. Even though Chelsea, they looked or they had a weaker
exactly.
squad, that
Exactly.
that just didn't matter anymore because we were just overwhelmed.
And this is so important. It's about the mindset. It's about these intangibles. It's difficult to put this into numbers, yeah, but these are
Exactly.
like abstract qualities that are equally important in football. Confidence, yeah.
This is what
Uh
divides the modern football to
yeah.
the modern football point of view, where people talk about stats and how the
Yeah.
player performs, xgs and lgs,
Yeah.
whereas
This is
they don't
about
talk about
aggressivity and
exactly.
motivation and determination and fight. And we showed a lot of that, in my opinion.
We did, yes.
And lastly, and I think this is again very important, there seems to be a lot of understanding amongst the players. There's a lot of teamwork. We fight for each other. We function well as a unit.
We back up each other really well. I
Yeah,
mean, imagine we had issues with our left back long time ago. Tierney used to be injured. Zinchenko was injured at one point. And then right now, Zinchenko is back with the starting 11 right after he's had his injury period. And there has been no issues with the squad. Tierney has been supportive. Zinchenko has been equally supportive. So
yeah.
I think Signs looks great, even with the depth.
Hmm. I agree. I agree. And I think there's only one person. Well, we say only one person. It's probably more people, but there's one person we should be grateful to for all this, and that's Mikel Arteta. He's the guy in charge. Yeah. Of course,
Yes.
it's the whole staff, and the players themselves, but Arteta is the one pulling the strings there, right? He's the one in charge. So
Absolutely. Yeah, I think Arteta has done a fantastic job. I'm so glad that I I trusted his process, and I'm also glad that the owners were patient enough to hold him and not sack him last season. And you can see the results now, how he has changed. Even right now, this season, we are the youngest squad in the league, and look where we are. So it just shows how much
imagine,
is our potential.
imagine. I just wanted to say that. Imagine what potential we have. We can
Exactly.
only get better.
We
Those
can
are
only get
players that
better.
when they get more experienced, when they start peaking, they are not even peaking yet.
Exactly.
There are still some faults in their game. You can see it. Imagine when all of these players will start peaking. We have the youngest squad and we are top of the league, playing excellent football. I
Yes,
think
it's
teams we haven't had that for a long time, but
for a
the
very
other
long
teams
time.
they start to fear us now. I think so.
Absolutely.
I think so. Well, there were some teams that did quite well against us. For example, Leeds, they played really well against us. Let's be honest, right? So
Yeah, I agree with you.
there will still be some inconsistency, I think, along the way. We can't prevent it. Also, what do you think will happen after the World Cup? Because it's like now we have the momentum. Yeah. So ideally, we would have more and more and more games coming, and we would capitalize on this form. But we can't because now there's the crazy World Cup in Qatar. We know what we think about that. I'm sure you are with me on that.
Yeah.
Even though you studied in Qatar,
Yeah, I
didn't
lived
you?
over there. Yeah, I lived.
You lived there. How long
Yeah,
did you live in Qatar? No.
5, 6 years.
Do you
Yeah.
agree that it's not the right place to host the World Cup?
Mm, I think it's look. If you give me that statement, I think it's the right place. There's no problem with the location. The only problem is with the amount of money and the preparation and the way they prepared for the World Cup. And yeah, I think it's a bit iffy, but still, at the end of the day, it's all about sport. And from the way how I see it, sports should be a medium for connecting people and places, and not divide people.
Yeah.
So
This is
yeah,
going to divide people. We know that
I know, and
for lots of
it's
reasons. For lots of reasons.
for definitely for lots of reasons. And
Yeah,
yeah, it's gonna be a unique World Cup because it's gonna mark a
absolutely.
new era after this World Cup, a new footballing era, in my opinion.
Mm. If you ask me the circumstances of this, I say no. I say no
Yeah,
to this kind of World Cup. Should never have happened. I'm sorry. I know for you it's a bit different. You're probably a little bit torn because you do have a connection to the place. So I understand that you're a little bit more diplomatic. Also appreciate that you're open-minded enough about this. For me, it's a no-no. But I'm gonna be a little bit of a hypocrite here, and I will be watching the World Cup because it's the World Cup.
yeah. And who will
I
you be
should be I
following?
should I should be boycotting it after saying these things. So well, it's hard, isn't it? It's the World Cup.
Yeah.
Okay, so going back to the Arsenal game, let's talk about a few specific players here. First of all, Noop, you know who I'm going to mention first, right? Do you know what
Who?
he's? Yeah. Okay. Listen to this. Yeah, I'm gonna quote: "I'm back. I'm blue, and I'm ready." You know who said
Is
that?
is that Smurf? Do you know Smurf?
Yeah.
Yeah, they say they are blue. They're always back. They're always ready for a new movie. So I don't know which Smurf are you talking about?
You know exactly who I am referring to.
No.
Come on. You
Obama
know,
who? Obama what?
Aubameyang.
Yeah.
We used to love this guy. He used to score goal after goal for us. He used to
He
be
used to
really
be
good.
our
He won us.
ace.
He won us the FA Cups.
He
Was it
did.
just one or two? Can't remember.
FA
At least
Cup,
one. At least one.
EFL Cup, and yeah, he brought us. He was just carrying our team. He was our ace. He was our
He was,
captain.
he was he was our best player at some point.
He was.
And then he obviously there was a problem last year.
Yeah.
He was kicked out of the team.
Yes,
Something
suspended.
happened between him and Arteta. It seems like he didn't follow his rules, suspended, kicked out of the team because it was a repeated problem.
Lost his captaincy.
Lost his captains. Everything was filmed because there's the TV show called All or Nothing that everybody could see what was happening there.
Yeah.
It's quite incredible actually. And now he went to Barcelona first, right, for about half a year.
For a season, for half
He
a season. Yeah.
he did all right there. He scored a few goals, but then came back to Chelsea because Thomas Tuchel wanted him. Thomas Tuchel, who got sacked 2 days after he
Yeah.
came to Chelsea, and then there was this strange video that came out before the Arsenal game. I am back. I'm blue, and I'm ready. I thought it was actually quite a good piece of like marketing. I thought it was
It
quite
was.
fun.
It was. Yeah. It
It was
was.
quite fun.
I liked it. It
I liked it
reminded me
too.
of the old times because the way how the video was, and also it just
Yeah,
brought in more hype. That okay, this play he could. You
yeah.
never know. He could score against us.
He
So
could
yeah,
have.
before the game, I always had this threat because I always see Chelsea as the ultimate rivals of Arsenal's
Yeah, me too. Me
Emirates
too.
era, of the Arsenal's Emirates era. Although Tottenham are our rivals, I see Chelsea as our rivals because what
Same.
Chelsea has achieved in the past 20 years and the way how we always. I always have this fear whenever I play Chelsea, like, okay,
Yeah,
something is going to
same.
happen. It's going to be a very intense game. It's
Yeah,
going to be very overwhelming. And plus, we have Giroud back then. He used
yeah.
to play against us, and now we have Aubameyang. So yeah, we have had
We could see trouble,
we
trouble.
could say trouble. Yeah,
Yeah, on horizon, but it didn't happen.
it didn't
It backfired. It actually backfired because now
backfired.
everybody is pulling his leg.
Yeah,
Everybody is taking the Mickey out of him
yeah.
for saying those words.
And
How do you
also
know
for his
he
performance.
exactly? How do you know he feels now? Because does this mean that Arteta was right in kicking him out of the team? What is that? How does it? How do you think it makes him feel? Because I'm sure he had extra motivation to perform well against his former gaffer.
No, I think the video was just to boost his morale and to give some hope for Chelsea. I mean, they tried to tackle us a bit with that video, but I think we were just formidable against them, and it did nothing to us. I mean, I don't want to say it right now, but I think it's just the time. If you had seen the celebration, Gabriel celebration, we surrounded against Aubameyang.
I saw that, but I don't think it was. Do you know what? I don't think it was done on purpose. I think he was just in the way. I don't
Whatever
think
it is, I
I
think
don't
it was
think so. It
great.
it, it,
I,
it would have been a bit too harsh.
of
Honestly,
course, of course, of
whatever
course.
happened there, I think there is still some kind of respect between those players,
Definitely,
and you could
definitely.
see it when Aubameyang fouled one of the Arsenal players, and Arteta
Yes.
went crazy because
He
you
went
know he
crazy. Yes.
he went a little bit crazy. But then from the replays, you could see that it wasn't that bad,
It wasn't.
and yet Aubameyang was was not protesting. He admitted to the foul and he was apologizing to the player in a very humble fashion. So I thought from that I could see that there is still a lot of respect, a lot of mutual respect between the players. So I don't think I could be wrong here, but I don't think the Arsenal players after scoring their goal when they surrounded Auba, I think it was just some sort of he was just in the way, in my
He
opinion.
was. Yeah,
I,
yeah.
d- I don't think it was like
He
a
could be. Yeah,
deliberate
but whatever it
deliberate
was, I
from
think I think it was a beautiful scene for me at least.
it was
I
funny.
loved it. I loved it. Yeah,
It was funny,
and
I have to say. Even the whole celebration, like
the
Saka
whole
was like,
celebration. Yeah,
Saka thought, I think Saka thought he had scored. So he took the corner, right? It was a corner.
it
It was
was
a
a
corner kick.
corner.
He
Yeah,
took the corner, and then he thought he had scored
yeah.
because he,
Because
he was the
because
one
no one.
celebrating the most.
Yeah, because no one headed in, and the ball
Yeah,
just bounced in, and then Gabriel had the last touch, but no
he
one
did.
noticed it.
It might have gone in.
Might have. Yeah.
It might have gone in without him touching the ball. But actually, I thought it was a vital touch. The most important thing, can't have been an offside, right? Because it was a corner kick, so that was
Yeah.
good. And yeah, Gabriel got another goal to his name, and that's good as well. And there was another funny moment. Did you see the replay with the focus on Granit Xhaka and what was happening inside the box,
When?
inside
I
the
don't remember.
16-yard box? So
Oh, you mean the fight with
yeah,
between
a
Granit
fight.
Xhaka?
Wasn't
I
it?
mean,
Wasn't a fight. They were just hugging each other. Like
well,
Cucurella
yeah,
was
yeah.
hugging Shaka. Shaka couldn't move at all, but he
Well,
seemed comfortable in that
yeah,
position. He
yeah,
seemed okay with it. He was like, "Okay, he's hugging me. I'm just gonna let it happen." It was so
yeah,
funny.
yeah. It
He
was.
he didn't give him any space. It was like a complete embrace. And then that looked so funny because the ball was nowhere near them anyway.
Yeah,
And then
they were just
Gabriel,
provoking Xhaka,
Gabriel,
and I'm so
yeah.
glad. Yeah,
That's another thing I wanted to talk to you about. Yeah, there was a lot of Shaka in that game. Um, this was one thing, but there was another incident later on that we were already winning. Chelsea got very impatient, and I think Shaka was provoking them a little bit, but he always did it in a way that he never wanted to get get himself sent off or anything. He knew what he was doing, in my opinion.
yeah,
He had it under control. And every single time they were pushing him, right? A lot of people were pushing him. He was just standing there, just looking looking them in the eye, like that. And he was driving the Chelsea players crazy. And I think that was part of the problem for Chelsea because they had the wrong focus. They were focusing on Shaka on this strange tussle with him rather than playing football. Would you agree?
could be. It could have been. I mean, I think every team they try to provoke Xhaka in one way or the other, and they want to get rid of the key player because Xhaka has been a key player for a very long time. When you think of
Yeah,
it, apart from this season, for the previous seasons when he used to be a bit less disciplined, he
yeah,
used to be our underrated player. When you think of it, he used to be the connection between a midfield and on that left flank. And you could see now when he is under discipline, he's one of the top midfielders of the league as of now.
totally.
And if you
Uh,
break him, yeah, you can break the midfield and you can lose a player.
no, he seems to be also managing his emotions really well these days.
Yeah,
Could it
I
be
mean,
because we are winning? Or
could it be? Or I don't know, whatever it is, kudos to the team, kudos to the, I don't know, the psychologist or whoever it is. Maybe it's his wife, I don't know. But
well, again, like there was a lot of this in the TV show All or
yeah,
Nothing. We could see the dynamic in the changing rooms. And I
yeah,
think he has got a lot of respect. Like he's one of the leaders in the team.
yeah, he's
And
got that.
now it all starts making sense. Like a few years ago, uh, Arsenal fans, including me, we were wondering why we kept Shaka, why Emery and then um, Arteta trusted him so much. We were wondering why, but I
Exactly.
think but I think they have proven us wrong.
I agree with you. I
Yeah,
was really happy. I was very happy when I heard the news that okay, he's going to Roma. He's going to play under Mourinho. It's going to be a fun game, fun life for him, I guess. Life under
yeah.
Mourinho. But then he just decided to not go there overnight. I think it was an overnight
I
decision.
think he was convinced. I think he
He
was
was
convinced by
convinced.
Arteta. Yeah. I think
Yeah,
Arteta said, "We need you." Yeah, something like that.
yeah,
He had packed. He
and
had already his bags packed.
it was, yeah. And I don't know what happened, but I think
But
I'm really glad to have him back.
yeah,
It's we
he's
just have
our
a new
key.
player.
He's our key player now. Absolutely.
He is.
Yeah. Alexander Zirchenko was thrown back into the team because he had been injured, right? How surprised were you that he went straight into the team in such a high-profile game?
I was
How
actually quite
surprised were you?
surprised. I didn't expect that. I thought he would get some time during the game. I was expecting more from TNA because he's
Yeah,
more defensive than Zinchenko, and he also plays more in the wide, and his crosses are much better. whereas Alexander Zinchenko plays more in the center,
Hmm.
and he sometimes replaces Xhaka as the defensive midfielder, and that's what we saw from him. But whatever it was, I think it could have gone either ways. Like it could have been a bad tactic by Arteta to put Alexander Zinchenko right after his injury, but I think it was great. He kept the defense together and he kept the midfield together at the same time.
I think he probably expected Chelsea to sit. I think Arteta. I think now, like Arteta knows that Arsenal are playing excellent, and also they have a really strong start. It's always about the start. Like we really
Yeah,
hit the like, you know, in the first few minutes, we are all over our opponents, right? And I think the teams expect us to do that. So Arteta has to come up with a counter plan, to counter that. So probably he thought playing Zilchenko means that he would be more on the ball and we would keep the ball more. And it's true, we had a lot of possession, and Zilchenko was a great contributor to that. He had one of the most touches of the whole team. Speaking of touches, Noop, did you know that Aubameyang had only 8 touches in the box,
he
whereas
did.
Gabriel Jesus had over 50? I heard that
Not
on a podcast
surprised.
today. So,
Not surprised. And wow,
what
I've,
does it
I've
say? What does it say about Gabriel Jesus?
just that we are really glad to have him, not as a goal scorer, but as an additional to the Arsenal team. And I mean, if you look at Jesus's game, it's not about the numbers again. It's about how he plays, how he created. I
Yeah,
think you saw he probably had three easy goal chances. The first
yeah,
one was when he dribbled against when he dribbled past, I don't know, 3 4 players, and it was quite Ronaldo R9-esque goal. And the second one was when he received a cross from Martinelli, which could have been in, which could have headed in, and yeah, I remember his expression when he said he missed it by this much,
yeah.
and yeah, so
I think he's an amazing player. Yes,
I
he's
think he is.
experiencing a goal drought now.
He
I
does.
believe
He
he
does.
hasn't scored for 8 games,
He
but
does.
but his all around contribution just completely like makes up for that big time, because he he makes assists, he fights for the team,
Creates
he
chances,
creates chances, he creates space for other players. He
and he
att-
also
he,
wins penalty for us.
he draws fouls. He attracts a lot of attention from defenders. He's irreplaceable for me.
Yes, I agree with you.
Even without him scoring. Like, the thing is, these days, a lot of people will compare him to someone like Haaland, especially because it's between Arsenal and Haaland and Haaland
City,
City, right?
Haaland
Uh,
FC.
yeah, Haaland FC. So everyone is looking at Haaland's goals and the way he plays, but Jesus, it's just a bit unfair on him, because the the amount of contribution he has to the team, or he adds to the team, it's priceless in my opinion. It's
It is.
priceless. And it's unfair to compare those two players. Those teams play in well. There's a lot of similarity, but there's also a lot of difference in terms of these two number nines, right?
Right.
So
I completely agree with you. I mean,
yeah,
you don't really compare these strikers. They are just completely different players, and they
absolutely.
are one could be an individual person, one could be a team player, one lets other wingers score, whereas the wingers on the other team depends on the strikers. So it really depends. Like if you remove Jesus, we still have players who can score. But if you remove Haaland, you could see the score line against
Yeah.
which team was that? Uh,
Um, Fulham.
Fulham. Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's it.
exactly. So we managed to win 3 out of 4 big matches. This didn't used to happen. We beat okay, we lost against Manchester United. That was the
We
only
did.
one we lost. We beat Tottenham, Liverpool,
Liverpool,
and Chelsea now.
Chelsea, and also you have to remember that our win against Chelsea was the first uh, win
Right.
by a top six team against a top six team in their away game. And of course, the next team was Liverpool that won against Tottenham. But again,
Yeah.
our win was the starting moment.
I think it's a massive boost to the morale of the team. It's
It
just
is
there's just a difference beating Fulham. Like City beat Fulham 2-1, right? It was a big win for them as well because they clinched the victory in the dying minutes of the match. Okay, so it's always nice, right?
yeah,
But you can't compare beating Fulham and okay, they were also 1-10. They were one man down as well. That's important too. So I think for them it was a big win as well. But in the grand scheme of things, beating Chelsea is always bigger, in my opinion. So
definitely.
they are still Chelsea.
Yeah,
Okay, they are out of form and they have a new manager and
they have a
maybe
new
they are
manager.
rebuilding in the rebuilding phase. Still, it's Chelsea, and it's sometimes it's in our heads, right? It's like they are our bogey. What's the word? Bogey team.
Bogey team. Yeah,
Bogey team. Yeah. So what a win! What a win! So, do you think we are mature enough now to handle the pressure once everyone starts talking about the title? I think people are already talking about it. Like at the beginning, even when we were top of the league, people were like,
it's just a
it's
phase.
Arsenal. It's just a phase. They have a good start, but City will show
No,
their
just wait. No,
dominance later on. But can we?
they.
How long
Yeah,
can we keep saying this?
I mean, they said that Tottenham's gonna come 3-1, Liverpool's gonna come 3-2, Chelsea's gonna come 1-0. I mean,
I don't think we can hide from this anymore, Noop. I think
we
we
can't.
have to. I think even Arteta admitted it a little bit, didn't he, in one of the
He
post-match
did. He
conferences?
did.
We
I mean,
need to say
even
it.
Pep admitted
We are in the title race now.
we are.
We are. We didn't say it here even on this show for a long time, but I think we have to start saying it now. We would be hypocrites if we just.
Yeah,
It's easier, to be in that position when you can only surprise. But now there will be more pressure on us. And my question is, can we handle it with this young team? Can they handle the pressure?
time will tell. The World Cup will tell.
Yeah, exactly. The World
Yeah,
Cup. That's going to be a big factor in everything, right?
it's in everything. Yes. I don't know what's gonna happen.
So who's going away? So
Saka,
Saka for sure, right?
Jesus,
Gabriel
Martinelli,
Martinelli playing for
key
Brazil. Probably.
players.
I
These three
think
are key players.
has Gabriel been called up as well by the Brazilian team?
No, no,
No.
no.
Are you kidding me? That's a
Well, they have.
mistake. That's a
I'm not
mistake.
sure. They have much better defenders out there.
You think
But
so?
okay, yeah, definitely.
Is Ramsdale in the team? I think he's also in the team. Ramsdale, isn't he? He
I'm
must
not
be.
sure.
I
Could be,
can't.
could be. I haven't
I'm not.
checked. I just saw Brazil's
Yeah.
call ups. Yeah, I haven't checked the other ones. Could be, yeah. Ramsdale. Could be, yeah.
Okay,
Who
Ghana.
else?
Ghana is in the World Cup, right? So Thomas Partey,
Partey, Xhaka.
Xhaka for Switzerland. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. Then who else? Cedric. Tomiyasu.
Who's
Oh yeah, Tomiyasu is there.
Tomiyasu? Yeah, for
Yeah,
Japan, of
Japan. It's
course.
confirmed. Saliba for France.
Yeah, yeah. So a lot of key players. So God knows what's going to happen. Some of them could get injured, but it's exactly the same for the other teams, right? So now, when that happens, it's a question of who has got more squad depth,
Exactly.
and I'm afraid City have more squad depth than Arsenal, still, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah.
So hopefully, no one will get injured, and they will not be
And
too tired after that.
exactly. And plus, we still have one game against City, which was postponed. So I don't know when we'll be playing that
Mm.
game because after the World Cup, we'll be having lots of tough games against Villa, Newcastle, Brighton. So it's going to be an
Yeah.
interesting, tough fixture uh, during the New Year's.
I agree. The Premier League restarts on the Boxing Day, right?
Yes.
So that's I believe 6 days after the World Cup finishes.
7 days. The World Cup
Okay,
finishes on 18th of December.
yeah. Isn't the Boxing Day on the?
25th. Boxing Day is
Oh,
25th. The
I
day
thought it
after
was on the
Christmas.
26th. Hang on. Are
Could
you
be.
sure?
I don't know. I thought
Yeah, it's on the
24th,
26th. No,
26th.
Boxing
Okay.
Day is on the 26th. Yeah,
So 8 days, 8 days
yeah.
after. Okay.
So it's crazy, crazy schedule. I don't envy the play. I mean, they will all tell you, like, if you do an interview with them, especially Harry Kane, he always talks like that. We are professionals. We have to deal with this. I love it, but at the same time, come on, it's quite demanding,
It is.
quite a tough schedule.
I
A
mean,
lot
it's
of
good that
expect.
we have it's good that we have young players, so they won't have any long-term injury, and they can recover very quickly.
Yeah,
But at the same time, we have less players, not enough for the depth.
I agree. Yeah. So, can we win the league, Nope?
We can. At the moment, we can.
You mean you and I? We can
Yeah,
win
we
the,
can. Yeah, yeah. That's more than
especially the
enough.
two of us, right? Especially
Yeah,
the two of us.
just
When
the
we
two
say
of us. Yeah,
we mean the team we support,
of course.
Arsenal.
A wise man said, "Give me Zdeněk and Rup and nine pieces of wood, and I'll give you a Premier League title."
Who said that?
A wise man.
I've never heard that. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Nope. Chelsea. They hired Potter. Do you think they regret sacking Tuchel?
I don't think so. Chelsea. I mean, I understand that they won the Champions League, but again, the Champions League, the way how they won it, it didn't seem obvious. Like it could have gone either ways. They would have lost it during the knockout rounds itself. So if you remove the Champions League trophy, I think
You think
they were
they were
pretty
average?
okay. I
I
think
think
they were average.
I actually liked Tuchel. I thought he was doing a good job there, but it seemed in the recent or in those days before, in those games and press conferences before his sacking, he seemed a bit agitated. Let's say similar to Klopp these days, right? Little bit like tetchy and
Could be.
nervous, and yeah,
The thing is,
looking for excuses and stuff like that.
yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know. I think he probably also lost the dressing room or lost the trust with his
yeah,
colleagues, with his higher officials. And I
that's
think
right.
I think it has been there before as well when he was managing for PSG and
Really?
Dortmund. Yeah,
Okay.
he just lost the dressing room. He just had a very
It's
free
like
fall. There
it's
was
like
a free falling dip in his performance,
yeah,
and yeah, I think he has some ego issues probably. I could be
yeah.
wrong, but it seems like it.
Well, he's like Mourinho 2.0.
He cannot take criticism sometimes. Like
Mhm.
when I look at his press conference versus Arteta's, I've never seen like Arteta losing his cool and you know,
Well, to be honest, Noop, I think a lot of these managers are like that. Like
yeah,
even we can refer to David Moyes now. Yeah. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yesterday it went pear shaped for David Moyes' team, West Ham United,
Okay,
and there was this one particular issue. Yeah. So Said Benrahma has been the best West Ham United player in the recent matches. Said
okay,
Benrahma.
yeah,
And fans see it. Everybody sees it. He shows it with his contribution with the stats as well. He scores goals, and he scored the first West Ham goal, and he didn't do much wrong in that game. Yet, because that's actually the narrative, is that he's not one of the Moises' favorites. That's the narrative of the West Ham fans. He got substituted as one of the first players. He wasn't happy with it. He was mumbling, he's muttering under his breath. Um, and in the post-match, and the fans booed this substitution as well. Fans booed it.
wow.
Yeah, it was so. There was a
That's
lot of
a
discontent from
there's
the
a
West Ham fans.
that's a new low for West Ham.
It was a big moment. And then Moyes, in the post-match conference, he was asked about this,
And
and
what did he say?
he threw Benrahma under the bus a little bit, because he said that he was injured or something like that. But that didn't look like that at all, because he was playing well. He scored a fantastic goal. Moyes alluded to the fact that he was carrying an injury, and he thought he didn't look that like bright in that game or something like that.
That's
And
terrible.
it just didn't make any sense, honestly. So I feel like Moyes also can't accept criticism sometimes. He's too stubborn, and it looks like his days are numbered. Honestly, I
Yes.
think he has got one last match to turn it round, and if he doesn't win against Leicester, which is the last West Ham United game, I think he's done.
Yeah, because after that we face him. He faces Arsenal home.
You know that West Ham United are just 2 points clear, 2 points off the relegation zone.
Yes. And they
So
have won, like they have made, like, I don't know, 4 points of possible 15 points. So I think it's
yeah,
pretty bad for West Ham.
yeah, it's just they are too inconsistent. Out of their last 5 matches, they only beat Bournemouth at home.
Yeah.
4 points out of their last 5 matches. It's just not good enough. I understand West Ham fans' frustration. I do. Yeah, as someone who considers West Ham United his second team,
Mm.
I have a soft spot for West Ham, and I wish them all the best. I want them to succeed. I also obviously like the Czech players in the team. I have to say it's been really really bad, and a lot of players have been underperforming. The team doesn't function as a unit. It seems for Moyes it seems to be difficult to bed in the new signings as well. He's playing them, but it seems like he's not getting the best out of them. He's not getting a tune out of them. Okay, there were little niggles and little injuries, and they had a few knocks and stuff like that. So there were some obstacles thrown in his way. But apart from that, they had plenty of opportunities to impress, but they don't seem to be played in the right positions. Or even Scamacca, he's an Italian international. I think he's like a striker number one for Italy now, and
He is
he doesn't look happy. Like his body language. I
the
watch
same.
all those. I
The same
watch the
goes for
matches.
Paqueta.
Paqueta, yeah, same. I watch West Ham matches, and it's just. I'm willing to admit that Tomasz Soucek, yeah, I've been defending him for a long time, but I'm willing to admit that he's also like out of form. Honestly, it's really painful to see, right? Because he's my countryman, but he's just. I feel like maybe a time has come for him to be benched for a few matches to regain his strength, and I'm pretty sure he will come back stronger. Because he's such a great player, which so much strength, so much
Potential.
mental
Yeah.
mental strength, and he's so professional, and he will always give you everything. Both defensively and offensively. But unfortunately, the offensive play from him hasn't been strong lately, and his passing is below par these days, and he doesn't really make those runs into the box anymore either. And his head is like heading in the final third, doesn't get into chances anymore. Something is wrong. He needs a break. But the thing is, it's not just him. It's Bowen. Antonio is not the same player as he was before. It's a lot of players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lanzini.
Lanzini is, yeah, like it's difficult for him. Yeah? He's not really considered a starter these days. So like it's a
These
bit
days, yeah.
yeah, it's a bit tough for him. But yeah, um, yeah, it's sad what's happening at
Yeah.
West Ham, and there's a big debate now amongst fans because I've seen a few videos of their channel of their fan channels. There's a big debate now: should Moyes go or should he stay? And now, after yesterday's game, almost everyone is saying Moyes out, and it's painful to watch because for me, how can you sack a manager that makes a European team out of an average team, a team that challenges for the European competition to win it. He got to the semifinals last season. This season he won every single match in Europe in the Conference League. Two European spots secured uh, twice in a row, but in a row, right? And how can you just not give him more time? He's got a lot of new players, like 8 or 9 new players. That takes time to bed them in, right?
I agree, but then at the same time, I don't know whether it's if you have to look at such aspects when it comes to an experienced manager, and you have to also look how his team's confidence is, whether his players are actually supporting him or not.
Yeah. Does he have the dressing room behind? Like,
Does he have the
has he
dressing
lost his
room?
dressing room, or that's the problem? Because if the
Because
situation
after
with
the
sites,
Benrahma incident,
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. I I still think he's got a lot of players behind him, though, including Declan Rice. That's
Okay.
that's my conviction. So I believe they're gonna bounce back against Leicester. They will win against Leicester in a convincing manner. They will put in a
Yeah,
great
they
shift.
don't have any
I,
other choice because the
I
next
yeah,
fixtures are going to be difficult.
but if you want to if you want to throw your manager under the bus, you if you are a player and you don't want your manager, you're not gonna turn up, in that game. I think there are enough players who will. So I don't think that's gonna happen. And the
Mm,
fans, I understand that they now have higher expectations of the team, but I think they should be a little bit more patient
yeah,
with him. Because remember last year, Miguel Arteta. Remember last year what was happening?
yeah.
Like how a lot of fans were saying Arteta
Arteta
out.
out. We don't. They don't trust the
I might have
process.
said it. I might have
You,
said
yeah,
it once.
definitely. I think you were against
Yeah.
Arteta,
I wasn't, but I
and
wasn't. I wasn't like 100%. I was like,
yeah,
it looked. I wasn't convinced completely, and I was willing to listen to you because you were one of the few people who was standing behind him.
mm,
And that's. I have to say, look, we wouldn't be where we are without Arteta now.
yes,
So give Moyes more time, in my opinion.
yeah. Because after the World Cup, who knows what's going to happen? And at that time, you will need managers like him
Yeah.
who can handle the situation.
Absolutely. I think that the West Ham fans are probably frustrated with him because he seems to be very obstinate, unwilling to change his ways. Like always like doing the same thing, always playing the same strategy, the same. It's a very negative defensive play. That doesn't. So he's like a one-trick pony at the moment,
I think
and
he
that's
should learn. I think he should learn from Brendan Rodgers. If you look at Leicester City now, I think they are back on the track.
yeah,
Uh, I think they were what 19, 18. They were battling the relegation zone with Nottingham Forest at one point,
yeah,
and Rodgers then admitted, okay, he has been bad. It's his
yeah,
fault with the strategy, and he changed it. And look where they are right now.
exactly. One word about Liverpool: they beat Spurs 2-1 away from home. Are they back?
Uh, Liverpool are always back. I don't judge them. I always see them as a threat as long as they have Salah and
And Klopp.
uh, Klopp. Yeah,
Salah scored 2 fantastic goals.
and their new
Yep.
formation works well.
Hmm. Yeah.
And I think Tottenham. I think Conte is under pressure. Lots of questions to be asked. Lots of bad football played by him.
Mm.
I mean, he was never like that when he used to manage his previous teams like Chelsea or, let's say, Inter Milan. But just when it comes to Tottenham, he just plays bad football. I don't know why.
Yeah. But he's getting results. Okay. One thing I will say is they have been losing the important games against the top six, right? So um, they are in quite a good position in the league. Currently, they are
Yes,
sitting in the
fourth.
fourth place, right? However, they lost their matches against Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester United, and Newcastle. I consider Newcastle as one of the top. Well, it's now like kind of like top 7 because Newcastle are there already. Like it's amazing. Every single match they score at least 3-4 goals. It's incredible. Newcastle are flying at the moment.
Well, they also dropped points against Chelsea and Liverpool.
I think they lost against Liverpool, didn't they? Spurs.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, they lost. Sorry.
Yeah, they just lost, right? So
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
but they're still in the fourth place. How can they be so high with losing all these matches? It's incredible. They're still there. Conte is. I would never underestimate that manager. And they still have Harry Kane. He's just such a good player. Yeah,
Yeah, he is.
excellent player. As much as it pains me to say that he is a good player.
It's a shame that they don't have Son because of the injury, but
Yeah. Can you
I
tell us
think
as a doctor what exactly happened there?
I have no idea. All I remember was that in the commentary section that he had some collision and then something happened with his eye. It seemed like he had some concussion, but
Yeah.
then I don't know. I think he probably has some stitches now. But then on the other side, they have Kulusevski back, and Kulusevski is a top player. He was an Arsenal target at one point, and they got him. And because of him, Spurs had a great start of the season.
Yeah.
So Kulusevski is back for them, which is a good
Yeah.
news.
You know what? This Son injury. Is he out of the World Cup or not? Do we
I don't
know
think
yet?
he. I'm not sure. Do South Korea even play for the World Cup?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, of course. Of course. They're
I don't
always there.
think.
Every single time they're there, right? They
Okay.
haven't they
I'm
don't
not
miss the
sure.
World Cup.
I'm not sure if he misses the World Cup. I think it's just a small
If he
injury.
does, if he does, it's such a loss
It
for
is
the
because
entire Asian football, in my opinion. He's just the
yes,
biggest star of the
you have
Asian
to
continent.
you have to remember he was the one who knocked Germans out of the World Cup last season, last World Cup.
I don't
The
remember
group,
that, but yeah.
it was
Okay.
the group stages,
Okay.
final match, South Korea versus Germany,
Yeah.
and yeah,
I don't remember that. Yeah. Okay. No, he's an excellent player. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, Nrup, let's take a look at our heroes and villains of
Let's
the
go.
week. Let's go. Let's do this. Your hero of the week, Nrup.
It has to be Gabriel Magalhaes, our defender. I think he was the reason for our win. He was great with the ball. His celebration was great. His tweet was great.
What did he tweet?
He tweeted, "Nothing personal, but London is red." He literally
I
tweeted,
see. That was
Aubameyang.
a dig. That was a dig at Aubameyang.
Exactly. And yeah, fun fact: ever since the beginning of last season, he has been the defender with the most goals. So yeah, I think he's my hero.
Okay. I was going to give it to Miguel Arteta, but I'm gonna be different here, and I'm giving it to Jesse Marsh.
Okay.
I could have given it to Summerville again, like I did it. Like he got it from me last week. Summerville for scoring that winner against who did they beat? Liverpool.
Liverpool, yeah.
Yeah, but no, he scored a winner again, 4-3 in a 4-3 game. But Jesse Marsh, come on, take a
Yeah.
bow. Like your team is losing at halftime, 1-2. Then they concede another goal. It's 3-1, and
Yeah.
they find inner strength in themselves to turn it around. I mean, that has to be the manager. That has to be the manager. Like, fantastic manager, Jesse Marsh.
Halftime talk changes everything.
I believe he's one of the best motivational coaches. He must be at the same level as Klopp in the motivational speeches and all that.
Could be, yeah.
Americans tend to be quite good at this stuff, so it's only natural that this is happening. Okay, villains of the week.
Who's
You
your
want-
villain of the week?
Okay, I'm gonna go first. My villain of the week is none other than David Moyes.
Yeah, I was expecting that.
For the reasons we have already described. I'm not gonna give it to Oba for saying that I'm blue, I'm back, I'm ready. No, that was actually quite funny. I thought he was cool. It wasn't too disrespectful or anything. It was cool. But David Moyes, I'm sorry. You have to do better than that. You have to motivate your players better, and you need to come up with something new as well. Don't get stuck in your ways. Just open your mind a bit. Be more creative. He needs that. He's still a good manager, I think. He must be a great speaker again, and respected by the players. And I think he's a funny manager too, but he needs to be more creative. He,
Yeah, I
there's
get
not
it.
there's not only one way of doing things. And if one way doesn't work, don't keep doing the same thing. The definition of insanity is if you keep doing the same thing, you can never improve, right?
That's true.
Yeah. Oh, that's not exactly the definition of insanity. What's the definition of insanity, Nrub? Hang on.
I
Oh yeah, I know what it is.
What is
Uh,
it?
if you keep doing the same thing and expect the same,
Same result.
expect the yeah. If you keep doing the same thing and expect different
Different
results,
result. Yeah.
that's
Sorry.
that's the definition of insanity.
Yeah. Who
we got
quoted
we got
that?
we, we got there in the end. We got there.
Yeah, we got there.
We got there. Okay, let's talk about the FPL quickly.
Oh,
Sorry.
you forgot to ask my villain of the week.
I'm the villain. I'm the villain
No,
for,
no,
for
no.
forgetting about you.
Exactly. So it's Deniak, the villain, the new
I'm not
villain.
even. I don't even play in the Premier League, man.
Exactly. Yeah. For me, I think I wanted to say Ronaldo, but I think it wasn't his fault. So I think I'll go with the referee of yesterday's game of
Which which one?
the one between Arsenal and Chelsea. And I think he made quite terrible decisions. The referee,
Really?
when it came to Saka, I think that yellow card was quite unfair,
Oh
and
yeah,
I
that was
think
a
I
bit.
think
Yeah.
Cucurella could have been sent off
For
for
what?
his challenges on Saka.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's just that.
Okay. Yeah. All right then. The referee, your villain of the week,
Yeah, that's my villain
and
of the week.
now it's time for FPL, aka Fantasy Premier League.
Let's go.
You can't wait, can you?
That was a bad.
Sorry for cutting you off there, but
No worries.
you were saying something.
Oh no, it's just I don't think I had a good day in the fantasy league. Yeah,
Okay,
because
well let's have a look at our score. If you
yeah,
guys have no idea what we are talking about, then there is a game which you can play. All of you can play this game with us. You can find it on fantasy.premierleague.com, and it's a website about the Premier League, and part of it is the fantasy football game. And I recommend registering. It's a free game, and it's a lot of fun, and it makes watching the Premier League matches more enjoyable. Nope, you have to admit, the live before FPL for you, because you only joined this year. The Premier League live before FPL is not the same as it is now, is it?
it's not. The thing is that I've started supporting some players that I hate, but I want them
Exactly.
because I want them to score for my
Yeah,
FPL team. So I always
yeah,
cheer up for them, like guys, come on, I want you to be your best
exactly. And suddenly you're interested in knowing the results of other games, and it's
as
just it's
well.
just it's just more fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
just yeah.
Nope, this is my score this week.
Oh,
I was
lovely.
actually predicting a disaster this week. I
Okay,
wasn't confident going into this week at all because a lot of my players were playing away from home.
same.
I could see some players were flagged. Mitrovic was flagged. Wilson was flagged.
Haaland
Haaland
was
was
flash.
Haaland was flagged, and I didn't know what to expect from Foden. Like Foden, I could see him not playing, and he didn't play. Indeed, both Foden and Haaland were benched for this game. So also we didn't know what would happen in the Chelsea game. So actually, getting 62 points being above average. I'm quite happy with this week.
Yeah,
Salah, obviously, yeah.
Haaland saved you. That was a
Well,
wild guess.
mm, was it though? Because you know what? If he hadn't played, I would have been all right because I gave the vice captaincy to Almiron. You see, so Almiron would have given me 16 points, which would have been more than Haaland.
Okay.
When it comes to Salah, obviously he would have been the best captain by far because he
Yeah,
got me 15 points. Imagine that. I would now have 10 more points if I had captained Salah.
fair enough.
72. So, but it's hard to get this captaincy right, especially with Salah not being in his top form right now. But two
Yeah,
goals, nice uh, turn, nice return from him. Look at the Newcastle though. Trippier 12 points, Almiron 8 points. It's incredible, and it's consistent from these two guys. Look at Trippier, yeah,
yeah,
12 points. Before that, 11 points. Okay, 2 points here, but 9 points, 6 points, 7 points. He is on fire.
yeah.
He is
I,
on fire. If
he's
you don't
so
have
good.
Trippier, you're in trouble. I think he must be the best scoring defender of all
Good.
defenders this
Yeah.
year. I don't know if Cancelo has more, but
I mean, Cancelo,
definitely
he got sent off, so people lost 2 points.
exactly, exactly. And some people even captained Cancelo.
Yeah,
Let's have a look at your team, Noob.
yeah.
So you got 54. Okay.
It was a bit iffy because I subbed in Dalot. I wanted to have easy. If you look at him,
Yeah. Yeah.
lost those points because of that.
No, yeah, but hang on. Dollar didn't play, right?
No, he played, but then he got yellow card and he lost the game 3-1.
Oh,
So he'll be missing the next game,
oh
or he'll be
no.
missing a couple of games. Yeah, he's suspended.
Well, that's a shame.
Yeah,
Eze, you didn't play Eze. He got six
I did
points.
not. He has been on
Mm.
form. I recommend to get him. He's quite
Really?
good for Crystal Palace. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He scored that. Didn't he score the winner against West Ham? I can't remember.
No, no, it wasn't him. I think he assisted.
Oh, perhaps that's what happened. Bruno Guimaraes, yeah, he scored that final goal for
Yeah.
Newcastle.
I really
And
expected a lot from Zuma and, of course, the Man United defenders because the
yeah,
fixture looked quite easy. So I thought they would help me get a lot of points.
yeah,
But again, I think Nunes did a good job.
yeah.
And yeah,
You captain De Bruyne. That was a good pick as well.
yeah,
Yeah, you got
he's my captain as always.
yeah, yeah.
I
No,
need to change my back four though.
I think De Bruyne is a good choice of a captain as long as you don't have Haaland. If you have Haaland, then I think it's. I used
Yeah,
to have De Bruyne and Haaland as well, but the thing is, you don't want to have too many of these big hitters because then
yeah. You
they're
won't
gonna
have the budget.
cancel. They're gonna cancel each other out because
Yeah,
if you have Haaland, then you want to captain Haaland over De Bruyne, right?
fair enough.
And that means that maybe it's better to get more other players, like more
Mm,
lower tier players, rather than having De Bruyne and Haaland. I don't know.
yeah. Also, looking at Chelsea's form, I really expected a lot from Jesus and Saka and Martinelli. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
Saka, he's
yeah.
always assisting somehow, but I
You have
wanted more
three.
from Jesus.
Yeah, the problem is you have three Arsenal players, so they either all get a lot of points often because they assist to each other's goals, or
Exactly.
they don't get so many points. But usually they do. Usually they do.
Martinelli and Saka, they always do the work. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just Jesus who is not scoring these days. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are sitting in the 23rd place because we know you started late. You joined the league late or
Yeah. Like
something like that.
4 weeks late. So
Yeah.
I missed 4 games.
But look at the number of points you have, Noop.
Exactly. So it's,
666.
I'm telling you, I'm the devil. And look, I'm quite close. When you look at the gap is closing in. So I could be joining Marvin, Patrick. It's
Yeah.
gonna be close.
Look at Penn. Penn had like a shocker this round, 27 points only.
Wow. Just look
Yeah.
at Patrick, 92 points.
Who is Patrick? Oh, here.
Uh, yeah.
Oh, 92 points. What the
Yeah.
hell? How did he get that?
I think someone even got 100
Oh,
and
wow. He
yeah.
played. He has Gabriel Trippier and
Look his
Captain
captain.
Salah.
Damn
Yes,
it.
Gross as well. Gross scored a goal as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pascal Gross.
Kane.
Kane. Yeah, Kane is a consistent scorer. It's good to get Kane, honestly. Yeah. Oh well. Still Mohammed, top of the league.
Yeah, but
He
he
has been
hasn't
there
been
for a
good.
long time now.
He hasn't been good these days. So I'm following everyone,
Yeah.
and yeah,
You mean Mohammed? Is he
everyone like everyone.
is he dropping off
He is. Yeah, soon he'll be surpassed by
like
others.
Kahal? Kahal.
Yeah, others like even Jack.
Hmm. You see, I'm still behind Ben. Ben is
I think
still
I think you're doing a great job.
yeah, but look at Paul. He's right behind me, 5 points
Yeah,
behind.
he's
We
always
we
behind
always
you.
we always have a similar score.
Yeah.
Yeah. Martin, look at Martin. It's his first season ever. He's doing a
Wow.
fantastic job. Martin, look
Wow.
at him. 60 points consistently. He's getting a lot of
Gabriel.
points.
Wow.
Yeah, he's got Gabriel. Zaha as
Almiron.
well.
Zara. Wow.
Martin, I have to say, is impressing me.
Yeah.
And I also fear him. Clive is dropping off a little bit. Budgie, our regular on this show, West Ham supporter.
Yeah. I think West Ham is the reason he's losing points.
Yeah, because what happens is that you play the players from your team, and then if they are not performing well,
Definitely.
you're screwed. That's why someone like Pan is underperforming because look how many Leeds players he has.
Yeah.
Although Somerville, 13 points.
Is he even
That's
playing? Is he even playing FPL Pan?
he is.
Okay.
Look. This is the proof because he just captains the Leeds. Who is this even? I don't know this player. Gerhardt. Did he
He
even
is.
play?
He played. Yeah.
Look at this. Should have captained Somerville.
Or James or Andreas.
Yeah. Too many players not returning for him, especially his defense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So if you guys want to join this league, there's a link in the description, okay? In the description of this show. And I think that's where we will uh, part ways with Noop. That's where we'll say goodbye to Noop. I'm going to do the language corner bit. Yeah, I haven't managed to make too many notes today because I've been focused on the show a lot. But I'll try to explain a few words here and there. And Noop, thank you very much for your participation today and
Anytime. That was a
all
great
your
time.
all your Arsenal insight.
Yeah.
Are we gonna go mushrooming next week or this week on
I
Saturday?
mean, depends on the weather. Depends on your patrolling. I believe which is day after tomorrow.
Yeah, we went about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Jeez, that was a
I
long time ago. Wow. It just feels like we
yeah,
went there last week.
but I enjoyed it so much that I even
Yeah.
started watching a YouTube channel about mushrooms.
Wow. I'm glad. I'm glad.
Yeah, I like because I used to love it a lot when I was younger. I used to love picking mushrooms and
By the way,
mush.
guys, Zdeniak, he's quite good at mushrooming. I
Yeah,
mean, he can find
well,
mushrooms just like that. He has some really good skill.
okay.
He's as good as Ozil when it comes to finding spaces.
Could have said someone else. Also, was a flop in the end.
Well, in the end, yeah, but peak Ozil was something. So
And Rob, thank you for teaching me how to use a mushrooming app because I think it's pretty cool. A
yeah, I'm
mushrooming app.
glad. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks very much, Noop, and I'll speak to you soon, mate.
Cheers, man. Take care. See
You
everyone.
too. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.
Okay, guys, and it's just me now, and I'm gonna be explaining some of the vocabulary from the show. As I said, this one was a bit tougher for me because you see, when I have just one guest that I'm talking to, I have to focus on that guest 24/7, right? And that means I can't take a break too much. Um, but I still managed to make a few notes here. Um, I think this is what Noop said. If I'm not quoting directly, by the way, I may be paraphrasing, but it's about that expression, that word that I want to explain. This is not a tough one. Noop said, yesterday's game wasn't Leeds' ideal game. Um, Leeds is, why do I keep saying Leeds? Sorry, Leeds I have to say Leeds is, and there's also a mistake. So it should be like this. Sorry, guys. It should be, in my opinion, like this. Leeds is ideal game. And yeah, ideal is a good word. It means perfect. Yesterday's game wasn't Leeds' perfect game. Okay, moving on. Okay, I use this phrasal verb to pull something off. And I think I said something along the lines of, where am I? Sorry. I think I said that Leeds didn't pull it off. Sorry, that Leeds pulled it off. Or and I was talking about Pan, our regular on this show, Leeds fan, and I said that he's glad that Leeds pulled it off. So if you pull something off, you manage something. You manage to win. You manage to turn it round. So in this case, they were trailing. They were losing 1-3, and then in the end, they managed to pull it off. Okay, so they managed to win. Yeah. So it's like succeed in doing something. To pull something is like succeed in doing something. Okay. So hopefully this is clear. It's a phrasal verb. All right. Let's see what else we have here. Okay. I have to quickly check typos because I don't wanna write it twice. So this is what I asked Noop. This was a question I asked Noop. And I said, what's more important, 3 points or the manner in which we played? So I'm looking at the word manner here. And this is a word that has more meanings. But here it means the way in which we played. Yeah. So, yeah, that's it. The way in which we played. Okay. What else do we have here? Okay. Right. Attacking wise, we've been improving every day. So that's what Noop said. Attacking wise, I like this word. This suffix wise, it's very flexible. And what it means is that it changes the meaning of the word attacking. It means in terms of attacking, when it comes to attacking, as far as attacking goes, yeah, or as regards attacking, we have been improving every day. That's what it means. You can use it. It's very, as I said, it's very flexible. So you can use it after almost anything. You can say football wise, or something else. I don't know. Okay. Okay, this is something I said. I'm sure he had more motivation to perform well against his former gaffer. And I was talking about Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and he was playing against his old team, right, against Arsenal. Gaffer is another word for boss or manager. Okay, so I'm sure he had more motivation to play well against his former gaffer. So after all that happened between Auba and Arteta, um, I'm pretty sure that when he entered that pitch, he had only one thing on his mind, and that's scoring against his former gaffer, his former manager. It's a slang word which is used in British English. I believe it's like a slang, British slang, but it's a nice word. They use it a lot in the Premier League. Gaffer, nice word. Okay. We were just formidable against them. So Noop was describing how we played against Chelsea, and Noop said we were just formidable. So I'm just gonna quickly check. Yeah, I was just checking the pronunciation. Formidable. Yeah, that's correct. So the stress is on the second syllable, formidable. And now the question is, what exactly does it mean? So if you are formidable, you're kind of powerful, and you cause fear, you cause respect and fear. It's just Often we use this with the word army. Historians use it a lot. If a nation has a formidable army, that army inspires fear, and it's just massive and full of experienced soldiers, perhaps. And often you lose that battle even before you start fighting. Yeah, so that's how Noop described Arsenal. So very nice adjective, formidable. Okay. This is too easy. Okay, let's deal with this one then. We still have one game in hand which was postponed. So a game in hand means you still have one game, a game that was a game in hand means that other players have played more games than you. Other players have played one more game than you. You still have a game at disposal. Let's say you still have one game to play, a game in hand, and postponed means called off, kind of delayed, right? Postponed. It's going to be played later. All right. This is a nice word. A dip. Dip. There was a free falling dip in his performance. So a dip in your performance, like imagine there's like a graph, when the graph goes when the curve goes down, and the line goes down, it's a dip, it's a fall, right? A decline, let's say, decrease, uh, a dip. Okay. Um, I believe what was Noop talking about there? Who was Noop talking about there? Can't remember. Must have been a player, right? Who else would it be? Okay. Yeah, I also said his days are numbered. And that was when I was referring to David Moyes. If your days are numbered, in this case, it means that Moyes is probably going to get a sack, because there's a lot of um, discontent amongst the fans, and his days are numbered. It means, like, unfortunately, he's going to get sacked. It's all over for him. It's kind of like you're predicting the outcome. You're sort of predicting what's going to happen next. And if you say someone's days are numbered, it means somebody is gonna get fired or killed, or hopefully Moise is not gonna get killed. But you know what I mean. You could use this in various different ways. But very nice idiom. Okay, it's these are your final days almost, either in a job or something like that. Okay, and okay, this comes from medical English, but it's also useful for general English. It's good to know this one. It seemed like he had some concussion. Yeah, that's what Noop said. And uh, if you have concussion, I believe that means that you lose consciousness. Yeah, so you sort of pass out, and you don't know what's happening. You lose consciousness. Okay, concussion. I think it's after getting hit in the head as well. You don't necessarily lose consciousness. I think not always. I think there are different levels of concussion. I think some are more serious, some are less, and sometimes it's just you get hit in the head, whether it's a clash of heads or whatever happens, and then I think it's like a brain, like your brain is shaken or something, and often it takes a few moments to get better, but sometimes there could be consequences. Yeah, you might need a medical checkup, something like that. So yeah. Okay, guys, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this last bit, the language corner, and I hope you find it useful. And please, if you want to help this channel, give this video a like. And if this is your first time watching, why don't you subscribe? Because I do this video every week, I still don't know what's going to happen during the World Cup. I might either take a break or I might do a World Cup special. We will see. We will see. What would you prefer? Let me know in the comments. Do you want me to take a break? If 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 we get six people who say that I should take a break, I will take a break. Okay. Anyway, guys, thanks very much for watching and take care. Bye.